Hello again, Mikelings. Look at this silly monster. I drew this earlier, but I didn't do it entirely by myself. I had a little help with this dice. Now, you've probably got these in a board game you might have or something. And what this does, this is going to tell us how to draw this monster. So I'm really excited about this. It's so cool and I can't wait to show you. So shall we start? All right. Let's get a new sheet of paper. And let's start with some pencil. I'm going to draw just a simple silly shape. There we go. Now, how many eyes should this monster have? Let's find out. 4 eyes, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet you can see a lot with 4 eyes. Now, what else might a monster have? A monster has got to have a mouth. Let's draw a mouth. Now, how many teeth do you think this monster should have on the top of its mouth? Let's find out. 6. 1, 2. You can make them all different sizes. You can make some sharp. 4, 5, and 6. Now, how many on its bottom row? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what else might a monster have? I think a monster needs some horns. How many horns should it have? 3 horns. 2, maybe 1 right up top. Now, should a monster have some... Well, a monster needs arms, doesn't it? A monster needs big, scary arms. Although, this isn't really a scary monster. 4 arms, alright? There we go, just simple little shapes. 1, 2, 3. Maybe this one is a wiggly arm. 4 arms. How many legs do you think it might have? Let's have a look. 2 legs. Well, that's a bit boring, but you know, the dice said, so we've got to do 2. Now, I think this monster might need some spots on its belly. So I'm going to get a different dice now. Look at this one. This is like a diamond shape, and instead of this going up to 6, this one goes up to 8. So you should be able to find these quite easily enough. If you can't find them, you could ask your mum and dad or any teacher if maybe they can get you some. Remember to ask nicely though. 3 spots. Okay. So, what else? Maybe it needs a little bit of hair. Let's see how many tufts of hair it has. 4. So, little triangles. 1, 2. Actually, I've changed my mind. This isn't going to be hair. This is going to be a crown, because I think this is the king of the monsters. And this is his king's crown. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What a silly king this looks like. Now, if you've watched my videos before, I know some of you might know that I like to just get my eraser and just take the pencil, rub it out, but just a little bit. You don't have to rub it out completely. Look at all this mess. I love making a mess. Now we're going to get our felt tip and we can go over our lines. So I'm going to start with the crown. So I don't think this is a very scary monster. Not all monsters are scary. There's one of its horns. And you don't have to follow the lines exactly. You can change your mind. In fact, I'm going to change my mind here. I want this to be a longer arm. There you go. There's its top horn. There's its eye. There's its second eye. Now, maybe this eye doesn't have a dot in the middle. Maybe this has a little cross in the middle. And again, don't worry about being overly neat. It's fine. As long as you're enjoying yourself, there's no doing it wrong, okay? Oh, I really like this. What do you think this king monster would be called? I think he might be called I think this monster might be called King Scary Arms. But he's not really very scary, but don't tell him that, okay? What else can we do? We can add some dots into his spots. I love that. Sometimes you can get a felt tip that's a little bit smaller and you can add stripes into certain places. In this case, I'm going to add stripes into his horns. Alright. Now, I think it's very dark inside his mouth, so we're going to just fill his mouth in with black. Now, that is a very handsome monster, I think. But I think he does need a friend. So, what do you think? Shall we make him a friend? Okay, let's do the same thing. But this time, I'm not going to use a pencil first. I'm going to go straight to the pen. So, let's do a different shape. We can... What about this shape? Now, how many eyes has this one got? 4 eyes again. Seems like all the monsters have 4 eyes this time. So we're going to... I think this one should have a really big mouth. I've got a sister who's got a really big mouth. How many teeth should it have on the top row? 4. 4, 2, 3, and 4. How many on the bottom? 3. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Now, how many ears should this monster have? Let's find out. 4. Gosh, I bet this monster can hear everything with 4 ears. Let's see how many arms it has. Oops, that's gone right over there. Look, 5 arms. So I think this is going to have shorter arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 5th arm is going to be very long. Now, you can't be a monster and not have legs, so let's find out how many legs. 4 legs, that's more like it. So this monster's got big long legs. 1, 2, 3, and 4 legs. I love that so much. Now, do you think this monster should also have a haircut? I do. So let's use our 8-sided dice. 5. He should have 5 bits of hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What a scary monster. It's not very scary. We're going to fill his mouth in with black. I really like this part. I really like filling colour in. And it doesn't matter if you go over a little bit like that. Look, it's totally fine. Remember, when you're drawing, whatever you do in your drawing is okay. There's no right or wrong with drawing. All right. What should this one be called? This one... This is Belinda. Belinda Big Mouth. So at this point you can, now you know me, you know I like to fill spaces in. You can add little spirals. You can add little circles. And if you want to colour your monsters in, that's totally fine as well. Sometimes, a lot of the time I like to keep mine black and white, but that's completely fine. Tell you what, let's colour Belinda in. You don't have to be very neat. There you go. Oh, I love this bit. It's really messy. And we're going to have some blue hair. And we're going to add some more things around. Here's some stars. Let's add some stars. Stars are a little bit difficult, but if you practice, you can do them really well. I promise you. Now, I think, you know what? I'm going to colour in King Scary Arms as well. He's going to be green. There we go. Let's colour his legs in and his arms. And there you go. That's 2 monsters. And we drew it with the help of our dice. Now, every time you draw these, you will end up with something different. Isn't that exciting? So, Why don't you go and try that and use the power of dice to make some mystery monsters. And I will see you very soon, and thank you so much for joining me today. Goodbye.